So now, so then he's going to say, so Christ here says, nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places, right? So he said, are these things not happening? Are there not earth? What's going on? Did you see the way Yah is trashing Haiti? Why? Because Haiti was involved in witchcraft. But see, you niggas over here is just as wicked, right? Yeah, America now is this big homosexual country now, right? Right? Gay marriage is now legal. They knew what they were doing when they did that, right? They're bringing judgment upon America because of that. But many of you out there, you don't have the balls to speak on homosexuality. You mad at me? See, this is why I'm saying. This is why I call a lot of you cowards. You all wanna come at me, right? Many of you all. I see it all across the little subtle things all across social media, right? You got a problem with me, right? But you can't say one thing about these faggots out here. One thing about these homosexuals. One thing about this agenda to transform your young men. You can't say one thing about that, right? But you tough guys with me, right? You wanna perhaps put hands and feet on me, right? Shoot me, right? You can't say one thing about these gays, and maybe not them in particularly, because they are who they are. Okay, I'm talking about the agenda though. The agenda, the plot thickens, right? The plot thickens. Why do you think what happened to New Orleans happened to New Orleans? Katrina, right? Isn't Katrina like the most famous, most vicious hurricane ever? She was like a category. Matter of fact, she was actually bigger than a category 5, right? For real, because they couldn't really measure her. They had to give her a 5 because that's where it stops, right? Or is it a 10? I don't know, right? Or is the earthquake 10 on the Richter scale? I don't know. What's the difference? Earthquakes use Richter scales, right? And what's the earthquake? Like 10, and they stop at 5 for hurricanes, correct? Look, whatever. But Katrina was so powerful that they really couldn't even measure her. Why? Because New Orleans had a lot of that voodoo shit going on over there too. A lot of that teller card readers and stuff. When I go down AC, right, to go get my massage, right, I see people inside that tarot card reading and all that stuff. Stop all that shit. I'm telling y'all, right? Now I'm telling y'all, I'm warning you all now, right? So, and I want to tell you all something, right? Many of you in the circumcision. One lady, she DM'd me, and she say, "You playing it safe." I said, "You need to understand something. Everybody knows where I live. You must be wise. Everybody knows where I stay. Everybody in Philadelphia, they all know. So I can't walk around and run around doing gun in your mouth talk stuff. I can't do that. I'm not even like that, number one. So that's number one. I'm not going to portray and try to be something that I'm not, first. Secondly, every man can be pushed to that because of maybe family situations or something like that. So you can be who you're going to be. Anybody can be pushed to violence. But then again, even if a person is pushed to violence, right? Because I don't know who these people are. Pulling up. I see Atlanta license plates. I see New Jersey license plates. Right. I see all types of license plates. I don't know, and it hasn't. It's gotten better. I'll admit, it's gotten better. I'm not trying to say, "Oh, you ain't nobody, man." I never said I was anybody. But what I do is I preach the word of God how it's supposed to be preached, and many of you have no idea how dangerous that is, and many of you have no idea how many people hate that. Governments hate these things. The government doesn't like this. Okay? Okay? It's not like any particular person that's doing this. No, ain't nobody on that type of tip like that, right? This is with phone taps and all of these things that comes from. See, this is what you have to understand. If you read the scriptures, then you'll understand that the prophets and the disciples, they underwent the same shit. When you preach the truth, I'm not talking about reading the Bible. Anybody can read the Bible. Who do you know ever get trouble from reading the Bible? Reading the Bible and teaching and preaching the truth from the scriptures are two different things. Anybody can go and pick up the Bible and read it. Ain't that what your pastor do in church on Sundays? Many of you who go to church on Sundays, right? You pick up the Bible and you read the Bible. I mean, your pastor, he picks up the Bible and he reads the Bible. It's none effect. It's no effect. It's only effect when you use. Why do you think they took the true name of Yahuwah and Yahusha out of the scriptures? One of the issues that I'm having is I say the true name of God. Do you have any understand the magnitude? Do any of you understand the magnitude of that? You don't. That's the reason why the name of God was taken out of the scriptures and replaced with the Lord. The name Yahuwah and the name Yahusha was replaced with the Lord, both Old and New Testament. People say the name doesn't matter. Well, why the F-U-C-R-O-C-K did they remove the name over 7,000 times from the Old Testament and the New Testament if the name is irrelevant? Why did they remove it? Tell me. Why did they replace it with a bastardized tongue, a blasphemy tongue, English, the Lord? What did they do it for then? If his name, Yah, is unimportant, then why why can't you famous people say it? Tell me. The name doesn't matter, right? But none of you 200 million plus niggas can say the name. Hell, some of you Instagram personalities can't say it. And y'all don't have no fucking money at all. So if y'all can't say the name, right, then how is it not dangerous? Right? How is it that I get only 3 or 4 views, 5 views, 7, I think I had maybe 10 views at most on YouTube when all of you are watching it? The views are dramatically suppressed. Even on my Gram account. Sometimes those likes are suppressed too. The reason why a lot of people don't come back and like my post on Instagram is because they've had problems. Their phones have been tapped and they've underwent things for just following my ministry. Now, I'm gonna tell you why a lot of these cats, they try to attempt a lot of these Pharisees and a lot of people in general. Why do they make me their enemy? Listen, I do what I'm doing because I'm afraid of Christ. It's not because I'm the neighborhood tough guy. It's because I'm afraid of Christ. Because I understand the bigger picture that you all don't understand. You're not afraid of me, but you're afraid of the bigger picture. The Pharisees, you Pharisees, you're not afraid of me, but you're afraid of the bigger picture. Because the government, pretty soon, the government is going to control what everybody says, really, pretty soon, to an extent, right? That's when you're going to see who the true niggas is that speak against the silence of the government. This is going to be something that none of you, not even the toughest of you, would dare do. Some of the toughest niggas from jail home right now would dare speak against the government. Let me finish this lesson. Then shall they, so he's going to say, so it's going to be earthquakes and it's going to be famines, pestilences. Aren't we having these things? What in the hell do you call the so-called coronavirus? The COVID. What do you call that? Now, there are going to be things that are going to come. I told you all already. Once again, I just want to ask you all, have any of you caught the regular influenza lately, the regular flu? I just want to know. That's all. I'm not trying to insinuate anything. Has anyone caught the flu lately? So there are no more strands of the flu. I mean, I know the COVID is what's supposed to be a hyperactive flu, right? It's supposed to be a flu with muscles, right? Okay. So now, let me finish. Let me continue. Okay. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. These are his disciples. That's us. We're going to be hated by everybody. A lot of niggas in the hood, a lot of niggas outside the hood. A lot of niggas from the hood across the state, by our own people. See, my job is just going to bring hatred toward me. That's it. That's what it does. So you wanna so many of you all, you wanna dislike me. This fake page gossiping, it just won't stop. That's because it's not what you all think it is. It's not just niggas in the hood. It's deeper than that. Spiritual things must be spiritually discerned. I wouldn't even be surprised if one of these fake pages was the government. One of them. There's more than one. There's several, right? And then shall many be offended. Isn't all of you offended now, especially women? And then many shall be offended. And shall betray one another. And shall hate one another. Don't you niggas do that now? See, don't you understand that even if I don't know you personally, you're still my brother? Don't you understand that if you betray your brother, there's a consequence? There's going to be a penalty. If your brother don't get you for betraying him, Christ's going to get you. We're not supposed to avenge each other, right? But, I mean, hey, you see all the violence that goes on in Philadelphia, right? And not just Philadelphia, Chicago, Detroit, New York, LA, Atlanta, or Houston, right? You see all the black on black crime that's going on right now, and many of you think that rap has nothing to do with it. Now, I know it's dangerous speaking out against rap. I know that because a lot of you, it's your bread and butter, and you be goddamn. And I'm not trying to put a damper on anybody's bread and butter, but if the only way that you can continue to make your money is by speaking violence and whoredom and calling one another out of our names and what we can do to one another and the things that we try and things that we attempt to do to one another. Not only is it influencing the kids, because we already know that if any of you think, many of you say like Lil Nas X is going to say when Charlemagne asked him, he's going to say F the kids, like F your kids, like Lil Nas X doesn't think he's influencing. Now, don't get me wrong. Men, stay close to your boys. Bring them up into some activities. Bring them up into the scriptures. Make sure the commandments are like the frontlets of their eyelids. But in the same token, that's why I say, man, this social media stuff, I have many reasons why I want to stay off social media. And with all due respect, man, and I'm not saying this in any tough guy way, right? But I'm always around. Right? I drive all the way around Philadelphia all the time, doing whatever I got to do, doing the things that I have to do. If there's a brother or a sister out there that they think that the things that I'm saying, they don't like the things that I'm saying, you can always just come and talk to me, man. And people say, oh, well, yeah, they can talk. I mean, listen, man, if they want to scrap, we can go somewhere and scrap. I don't have a problem with that. Win, lose, or draw. That's not my problem. I don't have a problem with that. If that would make afterward that you're no longer my enemy, because I go anywhere I want to go, I walk where I want to walk, I do what I want to do. I don't care about anybody anymore. I used to care about the feelings of other people, but I can't care about people's feelings no more. Why? Because there's too much going on out here. And none of you all see it. None of you all understand what's going on. None of you all can see it because you're asleep. And this music, a lot of this rap music has a lot to do with that. It blinds people. You know, your glamours and glitz. Everything is about this ice. Everything is about all of this. Check out my watch. Like I don't a Dior this, Dior that. I don't give a fuck about your Dior or your sneakers or your watches or any things of those natures. You rappers need to get it together and stop talking that stuff. That's not what being stand up is about. Now it's sad because of how we are toward one another in the streets. There you go, right there. Let me get him. I'm not like that. I never said I was like that. I'm a family man, right? I'm a good guy, right? I do what I got to do, you know, to try my best to take care of things, right? Raise my kids, right? That's me. But many of you all who are like that, right? Very violent men, right? Very, very arrogant, violent men, tough guys, right? You all want to continue to do, you all want to continue to glorify those things. I know many of you don't want to tolerate disrespect. Many of you don't want to tolerate I understand that. Yeah, I feel you. But at the end of the day, none of you want to revert back to these scriptures. None of you want to revert back to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then you always act like you got to prove something. So your ego is going to get a lot of you brothers in trouble. Your ego. Oh, I'm not afraid of him. Oh, this, that, and the third. I don't fear anybody either. But I'm far more concentrated. Spiritual things must be spiritually discerned. So it says, and they shall betray one another and shall hate one another. You niggas do that all day, every day. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be delivered. Now, a lot of people say, and the love of many shall wax cold. And he's talking about everywhere. Iniquity, not just black folks, white folks, China man, Arab man, Japanese man, Indian man, all of them. Waxing the love of many. There is no more love. And many of you would like to have love, but it sounds corny and it sounds weak. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Okay? So this word has to get preached. This word is going to get preached. Okay? And listen, like I say, for the camps that are out there that are doing what you're doing, you know, y'all see the camps out there, right? They're preaching the word. Well, there are some camps that you niggas are not going to scare away. Some of them you will. Some of them you won't. Why? Because they're out there for your benefit. They're trying to save you all. They're trying to get you all to come back to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And for many of you that don't, nobody's trying to force you. You grown men and women, right? If you want to stay in religion, if you want to stay in non-believers, that's fine. You do what you want to do. But we're doing our best. We're trying to get you rounded up here. Now, just because you're in Christianity or Islam or Catholicism, does that make you enemy of the state? Does that make you wicked? No, it doesn't. No, not necessarily. Not at all. I know some good, let alone good people in religion. I know some good people of other nations altogether. So it doesn't make you a horrible person. You're not enemy of the state. Some people will come around at their own time, but get yourself nigh, draw nigh into Christ while he can be found. Because pretty soon the truth is going to be taken out of the land. And you're going to see how he's going to do that. That's for another lesson. Verse 15. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in his post. This is talking about the one Antichrist. Antichrist, there will be many Antichrists. Many of you are Antichrists. Simple. You don't trust in Christ. That's an Antichrist. That means against Christ. If that's what you want to do, carry on. Carry about, proceed. But there's also going to be one specific Antichrist. The Baal. The one that they call the Antichrist. It's not a whole group. It's not a group. It's not a nation like some people would like to say. It's one man. And the dragon, the subtle dragon of the garden, is going to give him this power. You get what I'm saying? He's going to give him this power. Right? It says here, what's he going to do? He's going to stand in the holy place. And that's another one. I'm not going to get into that right now. But I'll do it soon, because many of you that are not in the circumcision need to understand that. So what is this? So Satan is going to give a specific man power. And he's going to stand in the holy place. It's going to be somewhere in Jerusalem where he's going to do this. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee. Now, see, this is twofold, which is the reason why I try to tell people, because things recycle themselves. So Christ is talking about back then. So the Antichrist, this is what I'm saying. Esau is the wicked. Esau is spiritual. He inhabited the mind of the Caesars, the mind of the Alexanders, all the kings before them, all the way down to Nimrod. Nimrod was the Antichrist also. Nimrod was Esau. Well, we know Nimrod was Esau, right? But he was also Esau spiritually. Now, see, it's coming, and it's all the way till today, is what I'm trying to explain to you all. Okay? Esau is the wicked. Okay? Let him which is on the housetop come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. Pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, that should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. So during the tribulation period, Christ has to shorten it, because if he doesn't, nobody will be saved. Nobody will be delivered. Meaning, everybody's going to be dead. So there has to be a remnant. And the remnant is the elect. The remnant is not all the black people. It's not every single black person. Now, I have to do some research about the remnant, because I could have been wrong about something. The remnant could very much be the 144,000. Yet I separated the remnant from the